I wager you were unaware that by the time at the age of 80, your muscle mass has likely already reduced by 50% from when you were younger. Sarcopenia is a serious condition that undermines the autonomy of countless individuals global. Why it impacts over 50 million older adults experience falls resulting from insufficient muscle strength leads to an increase beyond 300,000 senior individuals to the medical facility every year. Here we encounter the startling section, the Journal of Physiology, findings on studies that contradict the notion that such significant muscle wasting is inevitable. For certain individuals in their 70s possess the capability and also the look of an individual who has lived for many years more youthful, while most of the age group faces challenges in accomplishing even the simplest of actions, such as standing up from seating options or ascending steps. These individuals can sustain complete autonomy well into their 90s, and they often outperform individuals much younger. Strength assessments continue to rise. Mountains and engaging in activities such as sports. Subscribe for more informative health content. Consider watching more videos like this one if you found it enjoyable. What, then, is their trade secret? Well, 93%. A significant number of seniors are unaware of which habits can substantially postpone or potentially turn back time-associated muscle deterioration. Yet investigators at the Mayo Clinic has identified them as the most effective. Healthcare professionals never inform their senior individuals regarding the key practice that can assist in recovering lost muscle mass in their 70s and 80s, as stated by experts from Harvard. Medical education is grounded in established scientific evidence to be essential for maintaining strength, as our aging process is indeed challenged by numerous perspectives. Medical professionals' suggestions continue to explore as to the initial practice is probably an action you engage in inaccurately on a daily basis based on this common mistake. The issue is accelerate the process of muscle atrophy by stimulating genes that typically remain inactive. Please proceed. Addressing this particular behavior could lead to the distinction between relishing your golden years independently or requiring assistance from. Let's make sure this video receives the attention it deserves. Join our channel for additional updates. Let's ensure we have all the necessary info. Information before we proceed. Share your location with us in the comments. Observing closely, let's proceed without delay. Right in the seventh habit is beneficial. Stress is one of the most contradictory activities that resilient individuals in their 80s engage and are exposed themselves to beneficial stressors, which are PA. Reticular forms of tension. Hormesis refers to the phenomenon in which substances that could be harmful at elevated levels administrations yield beneficial outcomes when exposed to them at lower levels. What doesn't kill you literally strengthens you more robust, especially regarding muscle, based on research carried out by the Buck Institute for Research in Aging. Short encounters with specific pressures activate protective responses within cells that facilitate the maintenance and even improvement of muscle performance and development in people well into their variations in temperature during the 80s are the main hormetic stressor employed by individuals of advanced age, stimulating brown adipose tissue, enhancing the production of mitochondria, and stimulating adiponectin, a hormone that preserves muscle tissue from deterioration. Brief contact with low temperatures, like concluding brief showers with a burst of cold lasting 30 to 60 seconds, hydration, or short cold dimmers. Ions is helpful. Saunas and hot tubs function in a comparable manner, triggering thermal stress proteins that safeguard muscle cells from injury and mend them. 10 years of sauna use was associated with 40% reduction in muscle loss compared to non-users. Based on a Finnish study, consistent utilization of the sauna was characterized as occurring between 4 to 7 instances. Weekly intermittent fasting or consumption under strict time limitations is the secondary beneficial challenge. To enhance muscle quality and activate autophagy is the process by which cells cleanse themselves. Super-agers limit their diet limiting intake to a specific time frame of 8 to 10 hours each day. Without leading to weight gain, this technique enhances lost mitochondrial function in muscles by as up to 10% in just 12 weeks based on findings from the SULP facilitate muscle contractions. However, temporary and strong make up the third challenge of resilience isometrics involving individuals with exceptional longevity. Continuously exert force on an immobile object pushing items to the IR maximum capacity for 5 to 10 seconds at maximum velocity is a typical scenario of activity. These brief yet impactful muscle contractions facilitate communication. Cells to maintain their size and activity without exerting excessive pressure onto the irregular nature of these stresses are what provide them with their effectiveness requires brevity and ensured ample time for recuperation. Correctly managed, these regulated stresses trigger the activation of longevity-related genes, including as FOXes and certain which the main focus is to preserve muscle mass as we gradually incorporate these habits over time. Gradually until you cultivate a patience is key. It's important not to overdo it. Your system supportive and calming is what you are striving for. The approach for protein timing is the sixth habit. Even though the quantity of protein consumption is a significant issue for older adults, research indicates that the timing of the intake of protein could potentially be greater. Critical experts refer to the gradual reduction in protein usage that happens as one gets older, leading to a decrease in anabolic response. Study published in the Journal of Nutrition suggested that in opposition to common belief, the notion that older adults ought to refrain from consuming everything, they should distribute their protein intake throughout the day instead of consuming it all at once. We will monitor it consistently throughout the day, and now we can proceed to the next steps. The significant part of a window of the chance for protein synthesis takes place within your muscles roughly 3 to 4 hours after each meal. The majority, many older adults, often err by obtaining, they con some all their protein during dinner, which indicates they are not receiving adequate protein throughout the day. To enhance strength is the optimal approach to distribute effectively. Monitor your meals throughout the day and aim for 25 to 30 g of premium protein at each one. So rather than having cereal for breakfast, consider having eggs instead of toast, Greek yogurt, or a protein shake. Lean proteins, seafood, dairy products, or plant-based options. Nutrient-rich options such as lentils and beans should continue this pattern during lunch and dinner in relation to eating the identical amount of protein, focused on a limited number of meals. The method of organizing appointments can improve the process of building muscle. Proteins can increase significantly 25% in a 12-week study carried out by the participants from University of Texas who followed this approach successfully expanded an average of 1-2 pounds of muscle without modifying any additional element of their lifestyle. If you aim to enhance your muscle development, build resilience, or continue to diminish, it's insufficient to just consume The timing of your meals also plays a significant role. Fifth, enhancing vitamin D levels through lifestyle adjustments. Did you know that the so-called muscle? There is a deficiency of this vitamin in over 80% of the aging community the silent threat, the deficiency of vitamin D, is a matter of concern prevalent among the elderly permanently, to clarifying that S. Upporting your bones is not the only required for vitamin D. Researchers at research from Harvard University discovered that vitamin D stimulates the genes that play a role in developing and creating sklee and to cultivate and sustain muscle. Your cells are rich in vitamin D, receptors that, upon activation, initiate movement procedures. Unexpectedly, a groundbreaking research article in JAMA Internal Medicine suggested that older individuals with vitamin D levels that were outstanding had 25% increased muscle greater resilience than those whose levels were insufficiently. They also demonstrated significantly enhanced response time, coordination, and balance, all of which play a crucial part in preventing falls. A lack of vitamin D is characterized as levels lower than 20 nanograms per milliliter, while individuals who exhibit remarkable longevity appear to age without. As individuals grow older, they typically maintain optimal levels above 40 nanograms per milliliter, which vitamin strategies for desupplementation are most effective. While exposure to sunlight has its advantages, it loses a portion of its effectiveness as we age. This is a result of the fact that the production of vitamin D in the skin diminishes by half of individuals between the ages of 20 and 65 when exposed to sunlight, the usual daily necessity of 600 international units is quite insufficient, yet additional support is essential for most elderly individuals. While this ought to be tailored accordingly, research indicates that regarding blood testing, most older adults need 2004 brief moments of direct sunlight during the midday hours if it is important to exercise caution regarding insufficient matters. Amounts of vitamin K2 that can be found in fermented foods, in particular animal products, inhibit calcium absorption, the blood vessels, and instead encourages its utilized through the skeletal structure. Due to the combined impact of vitamin D on blood vessels may undergo calcification if vitamin D administration occurs at elevated levels. This often overlooked yet essential the interaction of 6 vitamins and nutrients could be the crucial element in achieving your goals. Determine the appropriate amount of vitamin D required for your body. Consult a medical professional for a blood test, then to prevent your muscles from deteriorating. Make sure to maintain your levels above 40 milligrams per milliliter. Guideline number 4/C. Experiencing inflammation daily raises important questions about what to do next. Resilient older individuals share certain characteristics. Interestingly, the levels of inflammation are generally quite humble. Overall, recent studies have revealed that the final thoughts on a concept related to aging and inflammation. Persistent mild inflammation is crucial. I'll consider the decline in muscle condition. Muscle protein in the elderly is mass decomposed at a pace exceeding the body's capacity to regenerate it as a result of this subtle inflammatory process. Yet that's not all. Inflammation hinders the signals that typically encourage muscle development as a result of physical activity and nutrients intake not connected to their protein nutrition or physic. Activity plans for older adults. The indicators of inflammation were they experienced significant muscle loss on 3 occasions more rapidly than those whose levels were the least, according to a unbreaking research conducted at Tufts University indicates methods to reduce inflammation are employed by exceptional individuals who maintain their vitality, the resilience that most older adults their primary focus is achieving restful slumber that they attain by maintaining a consistent bedtime each evening and resting in a completely dim environment. Sleep deprivation can accelerate muscle wasting by reducing inflammatory substances by a significant amount, 40%. And additionally, they pay careful consideration of their changes in the digestive system. The gut flora linked to the process of aging are a direct origin of widespread inflammation based on. According to recent research conducted at the University of California, the diets of exceptio NAL individuals incorporate a diverse range of plant-based foods, 30 or more per week. Include fermented foods, such as yogurt and kefir, fermented foods that contain beneficial properties, probiotics, and a diverse range of fiber daily intake of nutrients. Followed by exercise. Intensity is a factor they carefully consider in advance. Consistent movement is crucial, yet older individuals should refrain from engaging in strenuous activities, exercise routines, as it could worsen inflammation. The typical high achiever functions engaged in a balanced manner on most days with short, focused bursts interspersed once or twice a week. And finally, they frequently partake in specific substances that reduce inflammation, such as 2 to 3 grams of omega-3 fatty acids per daily intake from fatty fish or supplements, curcumin, turmeric, and polyphenol-abundant nutritious berries, green tea, and additional options. Researchers at the Virgin Olive Oil, the University of California, found that the levels of inflammation markers may rise by up to 29% in just 12 weeks due to age-related changes. In the digestive system, an uncomplicated blood examination that detects bacteria assesses elevated levels of C-reactive protein with high-sensitivity protein HSCP can assist you in monitoring swelling. Unlike the typical elder who exhibits levels that are 3 to 5 times greater, super-agers typically maintain them under 1.0 milligrams per liter. Principle 3. Taking a particular nutrient on a daily basis. Even though the most dietary guidelines focus on essential nutrients like protein, individuals who excel in longevity and vitality possess exceptional physical strength. Careful consideration of specify. See nutrients that support protein, the process of creating, and the role of muscles in a systematic manner for your body to optimize the nutrients you consume and the benefits of these essential nutrients play a crucial role as guides if you lack them. No quantity of nutrition or physical activity will safeguard you from losing muscle mass. At the University of Researchers in Vermont have named magnesium the overlooked electrolyte for muscle health. Therefore, it naturally requires priority. This mineral is crucial for more than 300 biochemical reactions that are involved in the operation of muscles and beyond. More than 70% of the senior population is missing from it. The American Journal of Study was published in Clinical Nutrition in 2021. It was indicated that older adults whose magnesium levels were sufficient at 30% enhanced grips and significantly improved physical performance compared to individuals with magnesium. The levels were even slightly below normal. In addition to enhancing with magnesium, informs that are easily absorbed by the body, such as glycinate or threonate superagents. Typically consume foods that are abundant in daily intake of magnesium, particularly from sources like dark vegetables, nuts, seeds, and rich chocolate. Creatine follows. It's not designated for beginners, athletes focused on muscle development versus those emphasizing power training independently. Creatine enhancement significantly enhanced elderly individuals. Physica, L strength and mental acuity function, McMaster University, 2015. Energy production in muscles and hydration at the components within muscle cells can be improved with a daily consumption of 3 to 5 G-liadin. G to a growth-promoting setting. Next up is methylated B12, which is a vital B vitamin. that often receives insufficient attention due to a decrease in stomach acid production as we grow older. Our body's ability to absorb B12 levels also decrease, and the proton pump exacerbates the situation. Inhibitors in metformin. Two of the most significant commonly prescribed medications significantly reduce this essential vitamin supports both neuronal function and the production of energy by muscles is impacted by a SH. Orfol, the active form of cobalamin methylcobalamin, is typically provided as a supplement by premium providers instead of the more affordable sign of cobalamin that is present in the majority nutritional supplements that work together, including zinc, selenium, and chromium play an equally important function in enabling the process of creating proteins and the role of insulin qualities of sensitivity that are crucial for the delivery of essential substance. To muscle, cellular material, ideal amounts of these trace minerals were linked to a 22% rise in preservation of muscle mass throughout a 5-year period. Duration based on a comprehensive analysis conduct of Tufts University micronutrient. Testing can assist individuals in discovering their distinct dietary deficiencies so they can supplement correctly instead of depending on a standard multivitamin by customizing their intervention tailored to their unique biochemical criteria. We can help them reduce expenses by steering clear of superfluous procedures, maintaining your neuromuscular build. In connections is the second habit to focus on. An intriguing observation that most of older adults may not realize when their muscles atrophy impacts more than just the single strands are generally the most fragile. The connection is what links why. Our muscles to your neural pathways, neuromuscular junctions, exhibit similarities to the sources that provide power to your muscles. When they begin to decline, that occurs at a significantly accelerated rhythm past 60. No quantity of nutrients in your meals or physical activity will assist your mind in linking with your exceptionally powerful individuals who age gracefully based on recent findings. And the University of Michigan offers significantly superior options. Connections related to neuromuscular functions than the typical elder, even more exciting. Experts have discovered multiple actions that can maintain or even restore these essential connections in this session. You will focus on coordinating and carefully performing a sequence of predefined movement. Studies have shown that in comparison to consistent strength training or even engaging in gentle movement practices like Tai Chi, engaging in activities like dancing, tennis, or even ping pong could improve cognitive connections to muscles to enhance their strength connections related to neuromuscular functions. Exercises require your nervous system to engage muscle fibers. In specific, trends in 2020, studies indicated that in comparison to seniors who simply engaged in physical activity, traditionally, those who took part in activities requiring coordination on 2 occasions weekly maintained neuromuscular associations. 31% improved. Substances that encourage the emphasis is on neuromuscular well-being. The second method indicates that alpha-lipoic acid and acetyl L-carnitine can help reduce oxidative damage to the connection between nerve and muscle, particularly regarding certain aspects of B1. Forms such as benetamine and huperin identified in Chinese club moss can enhance the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, the primary individual account tab. Lu for muscular activation is even more promising in certain aspects of the respiratory methods employed by super-agers. Activate the vagus nerve, which assists in the management of neuromuscular transmission. In as little as 5 minutes a day, you can enhance neural activity of muscles by as much as 15%. through engaging in straightforward breathing exercises. Practice box breathing by inhaling for a count of 4. Inhale for 4. Then exhale for 4. Maintain for 4. Perhaps the most fascinating aspect is the connection between cognitive engagement and the care of neuromuscular networking. Columbia University carried out a groundbreaking investigation that suggested the muscular function of older adults was significantly more effectively maintained when they consistently engaged in demanding mental activities related to the neuromuscular system. And the brain has numerous interconnected neural pathways. The specialists discovered that the training yielded significant benefits for the neuromuscular system utilizing these techniques for preserving neuromuscular function. Super-agers can maintain their cognitive function relationships enduring well into their 80s and beyond, enabling them to enlist muscle fibers. Effectively establish initial routine strength training that progresses over time is the most essential practice that identifies remarkably robust 80-year-olds differ from their counterparts in various ways. The one that specialists at Tufts University considered the most effective treatment for reversing the signs of aging. Have you ever noticed how we've developed this habit? Strength training that enhances itself, but not in the way that the most older adults accomplish it by utilizing focused strength training programs. The remarkable individuals whose strength levels challenge their true age combat the natural. The mechanisms of muscle atrophy in older adults never grasp this essential reality. Your muscles operate based on their utilization, or forfeited principle, with an essential exception to ensure their upkeep. You should progressively push their limits while maintaining pace using the same light weights week after this week. I plan to take a walk or engage in some water activities. Aerobics may not be sufficient to maintain. How is muscle mass affected after the age of 60? The technique employed by super-agers distinctive to start. The focus is on strength rather than time. 2 weeks of rigorous strength training, pushing oneself to the limit, led to increased muscle development for older adults in relation to 5 weeks of exercise of moderate intensity. As per investigation conducted at McMaster University, the most crucial aspect is to arrive at the moment when you reach your limit for another repetition, which exercise should be performed with correct technique. Physiologists refer to temporary muscle. When this occurs, it initiates the process of protein synthesis in the muscles for up to 72 hours, following physical activity by delivering robust anabolic signals. Secondly, super-agers put an emphasis on complex movements which engage multiple muscle groups simultaneously. The condition of their mobility and joint health should be carefully evaluated during CRE, aiding modified variations of squats comparing deadlifts, rows, pushes, and pulls to specific exercises such as bicep curls or leg extensions. Involve movements that create a more intense hormonal response. Third, they implement gradual increases in intensity that involve gradually increasing the standard of challenges. Increase over time with repeating the same weights month after month leads to stagnation due to your muscles becoming accustomed to whatever pressure you see on them. Individuals who are exceptionally proactive monitor their progress of their exercise routines and challenge themselves to make incremental progress with each attempt. As of the fourth point, highlights the importance of the unusual or reduced segments of exercise routines, which are recognized for their benefits in enhancing the physical capabilities of older adults, gradually reducing the W8 enhances pressure on the muscles without applying as considerable pressure on This technique is remarkably effective for joint issues. For individuals who are lagging behind, arrange senior individuals who began a 12-week program of gradual strength training. The training improved their strength by 35% and gained an average of 3 pounds of muscle. Based on a groundbreaking research recently published at the University of Alabama, accompanied by these there were also increases in changes in mental capacity, skeletal strength, and management of blood sugar levels. What is the most common mistake that retirees issue is that many believe engaging in resistance exercise poses significant risks or outdated for the real Don Gay. Or is that resistance training is crucial for prevent additional muscle deterioration, which in turn elevates the likelihood of fragility incidents and self-sufficiency challenges arise the practice. E of gradual challenge training, if you focus on just one aspect from this video, is essential for your assurance you're on the right track. Keep it up. Start with a trainer and then progress to the level of effort that's appropriate for your health. Level reached with just 2 30-minute sessions each week can significantly influence how rapidly you mature in this environment. They are the 7 methods backed by evidence that contribute to the impressive strength, the resilience that certain individuals in their 80s maintain, continuing to thrive. Choose a routine that you can maintain, quickly put into practice today, and progress at your own pace up to the individuals investing their energy today into enhancing your resilience and self-sufficiency. And C will yield benefits in the long run. It's time for you to express your thoughts. Are you presently involved in any of among these 7 habits? Which one stands out to you? Caught you off guard? Is there a senior individual in your life that exhibits extraordinary resilience, taking their age into account? Please share your thoughts. Please share some information about yourself, and we would appreciate your insights. Please share them with us. Thank you for your time.